Sunday already again. It always surprises me when I wake up on a Sunday morning and I think it's Sunday again. And then I say, goody, goody. Because we get to focus on other things rather than troubles and trials and tribulations, both personally and worldwide. And so we're asked to look at this thing called play and its ability to recover us and to rest us and to get us back on track again. Play, divine Leela, the play of the God. And so what is that going to mean to you and to me? I mean, how playful are we? And what does playful mean to you and to me? So we are told that the practice of play has enormous benefits to it. Number one, it changes up our whole sense and sensibility of life and living. It causes us to have a metanoia, a change of mind and a change of heart. It causes us to be able to just put on that radiance that is ours, that shows up like smiles in eyes and on faces, that keeps us in the moment present, so that we can say, well, in this moment now, all is well, nothing is bothering me. I don't have to go further than that, but just to be in one moment and to be glad and to be playful, as were all the great ones. Very playful indeed. A joyous spirit and a joyous heart was what Spirit had in mind for each and every one of us. Joy to the world. Joy to the world. But how is there joy to the world if it doesn't come to the world through you and through me? It doesn't. Joy comes from that center core fountain of light within us. And each one of us, we are told, is a fountain of light, a river of light, streams of light that can be emitted through each and every one of us. Well, when did you last think of yourself as being a river of light, streaming out there, all this wonderful, wonderful high energy? And yet that's what we all are in spite of our miserableness. The truth is, the light is within us. Now, within us may be dark, but the light shines in the darkness. Always. If you wanted to, that is. So what is the benefit of play? There are great benefits to play. It lightens our minds, it lightens our hearts, and it does good for our bodies. Playfulness. In fact, all of creation is the play of the God. You can imagine the Creator having a great time saying, let there be this, and let there be that, and let there be the other. It's that which is life, affirmative life, wants to express itself and spread itself. It wants all of life to know what it is, and that it's an integral part of that one whole thing. Playfulness. So when did you last think of yourself as somebody who loves to play? When are you last mindful of when you did play and have a good time, hearty time? And that's not easy in these days, God knows. And we feel very, very guilty to even smile sometimes because of all the people in the world who are suffering. But that is what supports the suffering, being miserable. We need to bring affirmative energy to life and living. We need to build up that energy that has awesome power to recoup and recover, to be the light that plays, like the light that plays in the window when you have a crystal in it. It's an amazing thing. When did you last give yourself a really good playtime. When did you last feel that you had a good time playing? And yet you're here to play for no other reason, because you're part of the play of spirit. Part of this play of spirit brought you into being. You come out of playfulness. You're not here to be miserable, no matter what. And even your darkest moments, there's an opportunity for you to discover some light. But you have to work at it. Now, I'll tell you what helps us. One of the greatest things that helps you and me. It's understanding the power of gratitude. The power of gratitude. You see, the brain needs us to be thankful, to be grateful. And we can change the whole mindset, the whole energy of the brain through gratitude and playfulness. We can create a new paradigm for ourselves, thought-wise, brain-wise, whatever. It's all the one thing, showing up in different ways. So what is it that you and I are doing for ourselves in that regard? What kind of a time is your brain having by means of you? Or in other words, are you giving your mind a good time? And if I was to visit your mind, would I be giddy with delight, or would I be screeching to get out of there ASAP? Would I find myself, in a heavenly place or in the Badlands? Now, we all do this to ourselves. Nobody else does it to ourselves. But if you really want to be happy, and if you really want to be healthy, and if you really want to feel good about your life, there's no other way. You must keep that mind of yours occupied on affirming things, because the mind that affirms is the mind that is joyous and happy. So the affirmation of life is what you and I are into, especially in this teaching. We're supposed to keep ourselves looking on, as the song said, accentuating the positive, eliminating the negative, latching on to the affirmative and not messing with all the rest in between. That could be a song, could make a lot of money, do a lot of good with it. But we let all of those things flow in and out of our minds just without a shadow of a thought, as if they mean nothing or there's nothing much they can do for us, but they can do everything for us, those things. To affirm first and foremost your own life, and then everybody else's life around you, which is a very challenging thing to do. But if you do it with playfulness and a spirit of generosity, you can bring about amazing changes. And really, there's nothing difficult to this. You don't have to go and study metaphysics for years to find the secret. The secret is you hold the key to your life's good, joy, whatever. And it all happens through the way you think about yourself and feel about yourself and life in general. And the more you criticize and the more you blame and the more you point the finger, the less likely you are to do it. Because there's no one to criticize and there is no one to blame. There really isn't. We're all one whole body in the whole infinite structure of life. So anytime you criticize anybody else, you're criticizing yourself as well, because you're part of it all. You're an integral part of everything and everyone. So let's not waste our energy. Let's not stress ourselves out doing it. Oh, to be in joy, you have to be affirming life. There's no other way. And instead of settling for that odd bit of joy every now and again, that makes us feel so good, every day of our lives, let's get up and make up our minds. Because remember, any good thing is first a decision. It's not a feeling, it's a decision you make. I decide to be an affirming presence in life. I decide to be joyful. I decide to be miserable. I decide to be whatever I am. It's my decision, nobody else's. Nobody can make us. Nobody can make us do or be anything we don't want to do or we don't want to be. And you and I are awesomely powerful through the choices we can make. Awesomely powerful. So the whole idea is take care of yourself and the rest will take care of itself. Take care of yourself and the world will take care of itself. Don't be worried about what other people are doing or not doing. Just focus on yourself and ask yourself, what am I doing and what am I not doing? Because all of us commit the sin of omission and commission. And especially when you live long enough, you've had a ton of time to make more and more mistakes. And that's okay, because we learn by making mistakes on planet Earth. As long as we learn from them, and as long as we don't let that bury us, overrun us. So what is it about this life? My goodness me, in this day and age especially, there's never enough time for anything. People are always into something or another that needs to be done, has to be done. I'm always trying to get somewhere else. Most people are always trying to get somewhere else. They don't settle where they are for much time at all because they have to be somewhere else. So what is it all about? I think it's called the culture of busyment, our culture. And of course, when we make ourselves busy, we can't think much about anything that's too deep. We're busy. We're busy. We'll have to stop that now, especially these days. We have to pause, and just be still and know something more than what we're looking out at. Be still and know. Be still and know what? That I am. Be still and know that I am what? Godly, powerful, important, unique, with a special gift that I came here to bring. If I don't get still to realize this in all my busyment, I am just wasting my sweetness on the desert air. I'm chasing my tail all the time. Yeah, I'm busy, but I'm chasing my tail. Busy. And when we do pause and take stock of ourselves, it's not to take stock of our faults and failings. It's to take stock of where we are and where we could be. And you can never judge a book by its cover. And you know the old story about the village where people lived. And one man in that village had a very interesting perspective on life. And so all his horses got out of the corral. And the neighbors came to him and said, isn't it awful, isn't it awful, isn't it awful? And his response all the time was maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. And then later on, all those horses came back with tons more horses that they had collected along the way. It's amazing how that happens. They were just running off to have a good time, bring their pals back, and party up. And the man had a son. And the son was coming up to that time when he could be conscripted. This is a story many of you have heard. But unfortunately, the boy had an accident and broke his leg. And so when the soldiers came to take all the able-bodied youth, etc., they didn't take him because he'd broken his leg. But when he first broke his leg, the people said, "Oh, isn't it awful your son broke his leg?" I said, "Well, maybe, maybe not." So his son was saved from conscription. And the story goes on and on and on and on and on like that. Many, many examples. And the moral of the story is that good can come out of everything. Good can come out of everything if you have the right attitude of mind. Maybe, maybe not. So when something like that happens, you say to yourself, "Gosh, I wonder where the good in this is," instead of, "Oh my gosh, I wonder where the good in this is." How do you make yourself happy? I don't know. Only you know that. How do you make yourself happy? Well, I certainly know how I don't make myself happy, and I'm sure you do too. So maybe that's something for us to investigate this week. How can I make myself happier? The whole idea about making yourself happy is to not look to one other person as the source of your happiness. They are not. No one is the source of your happiness except yourself. And who would want to put that responsibility on anyone else anyway? It's your responsibility to make yourself happy. And the funny thing is, when you do, you make a whole lot of other people happy as well. It's an automatically given thing. Now, what is it about this that we're spending so much time on? Because this whole year is given to, upliftment and taking care of ourselves and being all that we can be. And of course, to do that, you and I need to be okay with ourselves and okay with our life and our living and okay with whatever it is that's going on. Get it into our heads once and for all. I am the source of my happiness and nobody else is. I am the source of my happiness and nobody else is. You're not there to make me happy. I'm not here to make you happy. I can't, nor can you. I have to have an open receptivity within me to being joyous. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, the scriptures say. Because that's what you're going to have come back at you. Your joy will come back at you, pressed down and spilling over. It truly will. So what we put out again, we're coming to, is what we get back. And this life is incredibly amazing. Yes, there are all kinds of challenging things going on in it. Are we going to allow those to pull us down to the point that we become scared, afraid, and miserable, and then not be any good to all those people who are being challenged? We have to keep our energy up. We have to be confident. We have to be able to say to people who are down, it won't always be so. It will not always be so. Trust the process of your life. Trust the purpose of your life. Trust in that infinite way that knows how to lead you through everything and anything and be the better for it. Trust. Trust. When especially there's absolutely no evidence to trust anything or anyone. That's when you know you're getting an understanding of what life is about and how sovereign you are in your own life. You are the sovereign of your own life. So this week, find ways to genuinely be open to experiencing joy and happiness. Because I'll guarantee if you do, you'll be helping a whole lot of people around you. You're not here to make other people happy. I'll say it over and over again. You're not here to make other people happy. But you can in many ways. elicit that within them. And anytime you help somebody to know themselves better, every time you help somebody to see themselves more clearly, every time you help somebody to get over a stump and a hump of not feeling enough, not seemingly being enough, you're amazing in your ability to change the energy on this plane. So, be adamant and be strong and make up your mind. Every day is an opportunity for joy. Every day is an opportunity to bring happiness. Every day is an opportunity to make the difference just by having a smile on my face. Just by demonstrating that energy. The only reason why we're here. And God so loved the world that God sent the world you, to be its own presence as you, to be a very real and present help as you. And for heaven's sake, let us all bridle our tongues. Before we pontificate and pronounce someone or something as this, that, or the other, stop it. It's deadly for you. Deadly for you. Because what you describe someone else as comes back to you as it. I get the shivers when I think of that. So we're going to have a happy week, are we not? Yes. We're going to put joy in our step. Yes. We're going to take joy out into the world. Yes. We're going to know the highest and the best good for everything and everyone, regardless of what it appears to be. We're going to know that, there's a pony in there somewhere. There's so much manure, there has to be several ponies in there. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to be phased. You need to keep your energy high, and so do I. And the way to do that is to help us, to help each other, to keep smiling. For when you're smiling... Oh, I better stop it. They're standing there with their plates. All right, then. Are we on this week to be the joy in the world that the world so badly needs? Yes. Good. I'm expecting you all to have a great week, and myself too, and then other people benefiting as a result.